Hello everyone, and welcome back. This is going to be part 2 on the Bonsai Vision stainless tool set. And what I have in front of you here is a couple of things that I had purchased after the fact. Being this is my new comprehensive tool set, what I had been using was an old fishing tackle box, a steel fishing tackle box. It's kind of heavy. And I'm going to keep that for the tools that I currently have. So they're still in their place and they're where they belong and everything. But I was looking for a roll, if you will, a tool roll to put these tools in. And I looked high and low and high and low. And if you look for a bonsai specific tool roll, some are really ridiculously priced. I ended up finding a couple things which are right here in front of you on Amazon. And this is a canvas tool roll, and this is a canvas tool bag. Not bonsai tool bag, but tool bag. Both of them are from a company called Asian Treasure. Now, I don't know if that means they were specifically made for Asian tools or bonsai tools in general, but they were just advertised as a tool bag and a tool roll. So, you know, $30-some for both. I think it was $36 shipped for both of them US. So I pulled the trigger, and I'm pretty happy with what I got. I was able to fit every single one of my tools in that tool kit into this tool bag, with the exception of one, which is a large branch splitter. Don't really use the branch splitter much at all anyway, so it's cool being by itself down on the very bottom of the bag. And basically it's got these long canvas tongs here to tie it with, and it just rolls out, and it's dual compartmented, as you can see. And you know, it's got these sleeves where you just put the tools in both sides. Can't really fold it over. If I had just the short tools in here, not the 11-inch handled tools, I could fold this over and roll it up. And I found that even though I can't fold it over and roll it up, if I just roll it up like so, it will still fit in this bag. You roll it up, and then it's got this other flap that flaps over it to kind of lock everything in. And then you just bring this around and tie a simple knot like so. Holds everything in position. This actually does, it's a little tight, which is fine, but it will fit in here with no problem, as you can see. It's got really nice sturdy canvas, really thick sturdy handles. They're leather reinforced. It's got some leather reinforcement on the top of the bag here as well. There's no zipper or closure or anything like that for the top, but when the top is sitting stationary, there's about a ½ inch gap in between it, which is fine. Another thing that I like about this bag in general is it has access out here, just tool slots as well. They're probably mainly for like a box wrench or a screwdriver or a pair of pliers or something. But what I like it for is when I get this tool roll out and open it up, and I'll just demonstrate it with the branch cutters. When I get my tools out that I'm going to work with on a specific tree, I can just stick them right there, and I have access to them. I'm not going to lose track of them anymore like I used to have to come back and forth and get tools, so it's going to make my videos a lot better. And I have clear view of them. They're all lined up right here, no problems. On the inside portion of this, there's a little bit larger pockets where we can fit larger tools. You know, if I wanted to put them, cut her down, what have you, I can do that here as well. So I think what I'm going to do, the back side is going to be for my larger cutters, and then these smaller ones here in the front will be for, you know, wire cutters, concave cutters, spherical concave cutters, etc. So I'll have them really readily accessible for me when I'm doing my work. This thing has pockets all over it. More pockets than I'll ever need. But it's got some really deep ones here on the sides that are really wide. Not really sure that I'm going to be using these bigger pockets for... At first I thought, you know what, I could get a small roll of wire and stick a small roll of wire in there. Don't really know that I'm going to be doing much of that, because everything that I do is going to be right here in my workshop, and I have ready access to everything there. So this is going to be mainly just for my tool bag to carry my bonsai tools in the event that I go do a demonstration on site, or I can go do another journey to a nursery for bonsai material on site. I'll have the ability to take this bag with me wherever I go. So I'm pretty happy with that. So that's where we are at this point in time. One thing I did want to mention about these tools, and really with any tools in general that you're going to use with bonsai, being new tools or not, there's a process out there that's commonly referred to as work hardening, which in reality on stainless steel tools there really isn't a work hardening that takes place. What happens is with work hardening, like for instance an annealed copper wire, when you wind it over a branch, it does what's called work hardening. And what that means is the action of bending that copper and moving that metal around actually makes it harder and harder and harder the more it's bent. So if you start out with a piece of annealed copper wire, it's very flexible, and the more you bend it, the harder it gets, and the more stiff it gets farther and farther and farther out, to the point where it's going to be almost, I wouldn't say impossible to bend, but depending on the caliber, it's harder to bend, and that's what is a term is called work hardening. Work hardening with the stainless steel bonsai tools means don't start out with these tools taking a huge branch off really fast or really hard, because you can, just like with anything, deform the alignment of the head, the cutting head. So what you want to do is learn the way your tools work, okay? And what I mean by that is start off with something a lot smaller than what you would anticipate needing this size tool for, and gradually cut and cut and cut and cut and work your way back to a point where it's getting a little bit hard for the tool to do the cutting with. Once you get to that point, then you know that's where I want to stop and move up to the next size tool. Grab the next size tool, do it again until it gets to that point, and then stop. Okay, now I need to grab the 11-inch one, for instance. You know, we've got the 170 millimeter, the 210 millimeter, and the 280 millimeter, which are the 6-inch, 7-inch, or 7-inch, 8.5-inch, and 11-inch. Just for instance, like the knob cutter, let's just say. So get a branch on one of your trees, or on a tree in general, just out in nature or whatever. Saw it off so it's, you know, has different diameters on it, and use your tool. Cut it, cut it, cut it till it gets a little bit hard to start cutting that caliber of material, and then stop. That's all the farther you want to go with that tool. Step up to the next larger tool, and so on and so forth. So we're going to go ahead and shoot some videos today using exclusively these tools to do the work on our trees out there. We're going to start out with the Trident maple that we did the thread grafting for the lower branches. It's actually the first video I've ever shot on my YouTube channel. Today we're actually going to do all the styling. We're going to get it transplanted. We're going to talk about pottery and pot selection for the tree, and we're going to show you a final product. And everything that we're going to be doing on the tree tool-wise is going to be utilized with these Bonsai Vision tools. So before we end the video,